Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to Delete Everything, our map guiding you through the darkened alleys of the lost, deleted, and omitted histories that lay beyond the horizon. I am your captain and navigator, Riley Bowen, and with me today is my first mate,
Patrick Wall.
Also joining us today is the ship stool boy.
I only saw it coming like right before it happened.
Drew Bowlby.
Drew Bowlby.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We get something about the Patreon after that. I did the important part.
You did it.
And then
you
did
did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that you did a good job for this first time that you've nailed it.
Pretty good.
And I'll say, A on that, A+.
That's
Cool.
only the intro to the intro, though.
That's good.
It is. Then you got to go into the first and foremost. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all,
anybody who left us. Did you just? Were you just mocking me? You're just trying to parrot me?
Oh no, I did the important part. You can do the rest. You do the rest.
Thank you guys.
Do my light work.
Anybody? Fuck you. Anybody who left us a review or rating this week or a comment on Spotify, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We had a listener, Austin. I guess at this point it's been 2 weeks. Sent us a cool thing on our Instagram. He got his Spotify Wrapped, and we were up there in his top 5 podcasts, and that was fucking cool. And we appreciate that, Austin. Cool. Thank you very much. So anybody else who wants to send us that shit, send it. Or we're not going to think that you're that good of a fucking listener, honestly. We talk about you guys.
We'll rank you.
We talk about you guys when you're not around. We do it all the time, and we're like, do we really think that they listen that much?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Who's your favorite right now?
They seem kind of flaky.
My favorite listener?
Yeah.
Well, that's tough, man. I mean, Danny's always up there. She's very attentive.
Danny is.
I mean, but really, it's always going to be Mike. Mike is our only Patreon member. You know?
He's our one Patreon.
He's been our boy from day one. A1 day one.
All right, now who's your least favorite?
My least favorite? Oof.
Does it have to be someone who listens regularly or someone who has listened at some point?
I don't know.
Well, I need that to be able
I don't think I get real responses to
last
this.
Last week.
If it's someone who just listened at some point, it's Brian Velez.
A couple of weeks ago, I posted the regular Instagram thing, and it went onto my Facebook because I've got my own personal Facebook.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to figure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We even have a Facebook for this.
We do. We have a podcast Facebook, but somehow our Instagram got linked to your personal Facebook.
Yeah, whatever. Because I'm the one who posts it, so it just does that. It's on my phone. If I can, but I posted the Musashi Miyamoto the Instagram, and it went on my Facebook, and some rando dude, I guess, tracked onto that and clicked on it, and I was playing a Lupe Fiasco song on there, a really nice song called Samurai, where the lyrics that are playing are like, I've got these really neat, beautifully alliterative little battle raps, and it's a really sweet song, and this guy just tuned in, and he was immediately like, you need better taste in music.
Oh,
and I'm like, are you listening to the podcast, bud? He insisted that Lupe Fiasco was like a mumble rapper and shit. Essentially, me and Dwight teamed up and told him he ate poop a lot, and then he blocked us and deleted all his comments.
Nice.
So if that guy's listening, he can eat dicks, and he's not allowed to listen anymore.
That's right, bitch. Turn it off.
Fuck you, asshole.
Do you remember the guy's name? Let's blast him.
Joe something. I don't know.
Yeah, Joe something.
Fuck you, Joe. You piece of shit.
Fucking ass
dickhead. You learn to listen to better music, you fuck.
If you have not left us a review or a rating or a comment on
with
Spotify,
me on the goddamn
and
Facebook.
If your name is not Joe, the guy who fucked with Riley
Joe
on
Dickhole.
Facebook.
I want to look up his name, actually. Let's blast him.
Joe Dickhole.
No. I'm taking that out.
Holy shit.
Wait, what did you just say?
Joe Dickhole.
Joe Nicole?
Joe Dickhole.
Okay, cool.
You said Joe Dickhole.
I know a Joe Nicole. It's not him. Let's leave him alone. He's a
Joe
nice
Dickhole.
guy.
J. Cole. It's J. Cole.
J. Cole. He's like, fuck Lupe Fiasco.
That actually tracks. Shit. I really thought you were going to use the opening theme from, because every once in a while I'll think about what you're going to post, and I see if I can guess. And it never works out the way I think it will. But I see if I can guess what music
I do try and keep
use.
people on the toes with the music thing.
I thought you were going to use the opening theme to the anime Samurai Champloo.
I was thinking about that,
which is a great fucking song.
I had several thoughts about that. A lot of anime openings and stuff like that. I had a lot of thoughts, but it came out to Lupe Fiasco. Because I was just jamming to that song a lot, and it was really just appropriate.
Love it. If you have not given us those things, give us those things. Right now, stop what you're doing. Get on whatever you're listening to. Give us a fucking review, motherfucker. Or else we're going to set J. Dickhole on you.
Also, go listen to Lupe Fiasco. It's just good.
Yeah. When you're done with your review. No, I'm tired, man.
Tired,
Yeah, it's okay. I'm
It's
gonna
okay.
I'm gonna get through it.
We
I'm
have a
gonna get through it.
really, really boring topic here, so it's gonna perk you right up.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So if you are on Instagram, find us on Delete Everything on Instagram. Delete Everything Podcast, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Delete Everything Podcast on Instagram, where we post every week. Like
Delete
Riley
Everything
was just saying.
podcast on Instagram.net.
like Riley was just saying, we post a reel every week that's like visuals from the episode that drops. That's pretty cool to watch. Also, YouTube Shorts. We do a lot of like Drew will just pick out a snippet from one of our Patreon episodes because we usually video record those, and we're testing out some stuff with video recording. So we're gonna get more cameras and stuff in here. We're gonna try and like just slowly beef that up. But
OnlyFans coming soon.
and whatever the Foot Picks website is, I'm really interested in that one.
Feet Finder.
Feet Finder. Yeah, that's it.
Speaking of which, no, I don't want to get it. I was gonna say something about Quentin Tarantino.
No. So yeah, YouTube Shorts. We've got some funny shit on there. Us in the studio. You can see our faces. You can see our studio. You can see sort of what we do every week. And that's fun as fuck. And then Patreon. Every week we drop a new Patreon. It costs $8. We've got like a 58 episode, pushing 60 episode back catalog. By the time this comes out, it'll be, I think, the 60th episode when this comes out.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings 4 will be 60.
Yeah. So 60 episode back catalog plus new episodes every week. They're all usually about 45 minutes ish, sometimes a little longer, sometimes not usually less than 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're fun. Some of them are way off the rails. We've been getting into some actual history here just to like, you know, we're still
Just to change it up.
we're still pretty fucking ridiculous on
Take it off
Patreon,
of dicks,
but-
balls, butts, and boners.
Yeah. We'll never get away from that.
No,
That's
we're
our-
never getting away with it. We tried to be like really
Yeah,
intellectual
that's-
on this one.
That's
and
mother's milk, baby.
boy, there is just some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That is mother's milk. So,
I was brought to tears on the last one we recorded.
but you get
It's just so beautiful.
you guys. I hope we got this on film. So a couple weeks ago we did the deep sea exploration episode, and for our intros, a lot of times because those are all sort of Drew puts a whole cool intro together, but we have to record a lot of stuff. So Riley and I had to keep doing all of the balls comments over and over in different British voices.
Everything you hear on that, yeah.
Yeah.
Never have I heard of such
and,
balls.
and so we're standing here and Drew and I'm sorry, Riley's
talking of balls.
the man keeps talking of balls. Drew's like, so Riley's doing them, and Drew's like, okay, now do one in a high voice. Now do one in a regular voice. Now do one in a deep voice. And then he goes, and then I start doing them all.
And I'm like, do a guy who like he's kind of intrigued by the balls, but he doesn't want his friends to know.
So at some point he gets the camera and he starts recording, and I don't know how much of that footage we got, but literally we're all like, every time one of us would make a comment, we would all just fucking fall out laughing, and it was like one of the funniest. Like Drew was literally on the floor, like sitting on the floor, dying laughing. So we post shit like that on Insta or on. We can't post
YouTube.
that on YouTube.
we
On YouTube.
are ostensibly professional comedians.
We are.
Technically, even me, technically.
Yeah, we have made income off
Yeah,
our
made, like,
comedy.
a couple bucks.
It ain't much.
So
but-
we got 3 professional comedians just laughing their dicks off at the word balls.
Well, here's the thing: we haven't actually collected any of that income. It's all just gone back into the.
yeah, it's still
podcast.
there,
So
but
it's-
whatever.
Real quick, if I mysteriously disappear, I am officially on call for the hospital
You're not going
at the
anywhere.
moment.
You're not going anywhere.
Spoiler alert, I did make it all the way through the episode. They didn't call me in until 3 o'clock in the morning. Funnily enough, the situation was balls related.
They can wait.
This would be great if like later, we needed like an alibi for a murder that Drew committed,
Mhm.
and he just put it back to fucking just listen to the podcast, man. He was
dude,
with
he
us all
said he was
night.
on call. He left.
Yeah.
So you could go murder somebody if you want. If you choose, you can go right now.
Okay, so
All right.
today's
He's
topic.
still here, guys.
Today's topic is okay. So it was on the board for a long time. We already talked about it a little bit on a Patreon, I believe,
Yes, on
Right.
one of them.
one of our earlier Patreons, and this is a broad topic, and it's been on the board a long time. It was a little challenging to find the way to come at this in an interesting way.
It's a tricky topic.
It's a tricky one, even though it's just all right there. So what we're talking about are the Mercator versus Peters map projections.
Mhm.
If anyone doesn't know what these are 2 different variances on the world map.
Yes.
Okay.
And isn't there like another one that's like the true Earth map or some shit like
Yes,
that?
there are actually, we have a list of probably about 8 different projections. They're called projections because, I mean, anything's a map. You draw a fucking map with your hands. But they're called projections because they are different aspect ratios of the Earth itself laid out onto paper.
Because unfurling a globe can get tricky.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah.
If you just unfurl a globe, you will have an inaccurate like map in general. Because so if you take the globe and unfurl it, say you use the orange peel method where it's got those little divots cut out, right? And it's just rolled out there.
Okay.
And you're in England, then fucking Boston is going to be, like 8 degrees to the left and down.
Okay.
Right? If you take that route, you will end up in Panama. What you really need to do is go straight because on a sphere, you're doing a curved round up and around.
Yes.
So it's been essentially impossible for most of the history of the world until we started using digital technology, really, to get an accurate representation of a map. And even now to this day, the maps that you see on things like Google Earth or MapQuest, stuff like that. MapQuest?
That was a thing. I don't know if it's
Apple,
still is.
Apple
that
Maps.
MapQuest
What the fuck?
exists
What do I
anymore.
use? Fuck do I? I'm looking at my shit right now. What is this shit? Just maps
Just maps.
on your Maps apps.
Apple Maps. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. What you use, what you're looking at when you're driving around, the GPS's you, does not give you an accurate representation of what you're doing. It is modeled after the Mercator projection maps that you have been taught.
Right.
So as you go, your route isn't reflecting exactly what you're doing. It's reflecting where it fits onto the projection of an inaccurate map,
Okay.
which is fascinating, but it still gets you there. Whatever.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
As long as I get there, then I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't need anything to be right or true in this world.
Well,
I don't need
no.
anything pure or
No,
beautiful.
my beef with the Mercator projection is other than navigational and
Yes, we'll get into this a little bit, but there are other factors involved in the inaccuracies of these maps.
more sinister factors.
More
one might
incredibly sinister factors in many respects. So the Mercator projection was from 1569. It was created by a guy named Gerardus Mercator.
say. Okay.
Gerardus.
Hello, Gerardus.
Gerardus, come down for your lessons.
Mercator.
Gerardus Mercator at your service, man.
Baron of the Mercator
So it was
estate.
It was created by Gerardus Mercator for nautical navigation. It keeps compass bearings.
God, he was probably not even like a fancy man like that. He was probably just some fucking toothless.
Gerardus
Mercator.
Gerardus. No, he's probably a fucking like a math boy and navigator, little poncy little bitch.
good at maps.
I know. I'll look him up in a second. Well, so Gerardus Mercator did the Mercator projection. It keeps compass bearings as straight lines on the map.
Learned to draw in prison.
And the way that the map is,
mum always said I was special.
the way the map is laid out, the courses are set as straight lines, usually from a specific point, so that you would be able to, as a sailor, sail in a straight direction.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of the Mercator projection, 1569, is based around England. So if you use England as your launch point, right, you don't have to give too much of a fuck about like the East Indies and stuff like that, really, because nobody's doing that.
Because nobody was.
You sell a different map over there. But from the original Mercator projection, if you wanted to get to Iceland, say, the route that it would, like, where Iceland is placed on the map, you could take a straight line from your location to there. You might not hit the exact spot in Iceland you're looking for, but it will take you there, right?
Sure. I mean, there's things to be factored in terms of, water and wind moving you around too.
If you use a Mercator projection for flight, it's not going to work as well because the Mercator projection is specifically for angle preservation in nautical navigation. And the Peters projection, which is a 1855 map that was popularized in 1973, was designed to show true area relationships between land masses, which means it gives actual reflective sizes of areas. Whereas the Mercator projection has things like a hugely exacerbated North America that it can be used very effectively for going in a straight line from England and landing in your specific area. Right? Like if you do a straight line from England towards Boston and the map is fucking big, it's probably going to land you in Boston.
Okay.
It's far less imprecise for straight angles. But it also is racist.
That is true.
That's the thing. So like since all right, you're using England as your launch point. that means that you don't really have to sail in any direction except down to get to Africa, which means they can make Africa any size they want,
Right.
right? Which means they can make England any size they want,
Right.
and make North America any size they want. So it makes the United States look fucking huge. Makes England look fucking huge. It makes Iceland and Greenland small and Africa small.
Yep.
Right? Just exacerbating the importance of these very white countries in relation to others.
Well, and so a lot of the argument is that in order to do it in this way that was navigationally friendly, that meant that the things that were closer to the equator were compressed. And the things that were further from the equator, closer to the poles, sort of, I don't know what's
It's
the word
like
I'm
bow
looking for.
out.
Yeah, they just
it's like
get
looking.
bigger.
It's like looking at a map through a fisheye lens.
Right.
Everything stretches out
Right.
around the edges.
Everything closer to the poles gets stretched out. Everything in the middle compresses. Yeah. So was the original idea racist? I don't know. It just so happens that more black and brown people live closer to the equator. And those countries on the map got shrunk.
And what it helps do in the future is it helps put into the minds of people that these countries are smaller and thus less significant.
Which is crazy because England's still smaller than all of them.
In a particularly Freudian reference of like, hey, we're bigger than them.
Right.
Which I don't think is true.
No, it's dumb and crazy.
So in Mercator projection, it preserves the shape of small areas, and it preserves the angles and directions that you're going to go, especially if you're launching from England. But it distorts area dramatically, far from the equator. It distorts high altitude regions. Right. So like high latitude regions just are fucking massive. That's why
that's why Alaska looks like it's half of the
Alaska looks fucking
the same size
psychotic.
as half of the U.S.
Which
when
it is big. It's a real fucking
it's big,
but it ain't that big.
No.
And
it's cold up there.
Like for example, Greenland.
Hey Drew, welcome.
Greenland,
back from his murder.
In the Mercator projection, Greenland looks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In the Mercator projection, Greenland looks the size of
Giant.
Africa.
Yes.
Which in reality, Africa is 14 times big.
Yeah.
Which is fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
That's not a map. That's
it isn't. And that's why I'm saying I don't know that there was a...
It's also Europe and North America appear like way larger than they are compared to other equatorial countries. Okay, so the Peters projection, the Peters projection, Peters erection preserves the area of all the countries and their correct values.
Yeah, it does.
But it also would be very inaccurate for sailing.
Right.
Because it's supposed to be on a fucking sphere.
Right.
Mind you, this could all be solved by using a globe.
Who's got time for a globe on a boat?
Literally anyone. Literally anyone. It's very easy.
It's also not like we only navigated based on maps. There were tools and all. There's like you had to have your sextant.
Yeah,
and
there's
look
a
at the
lot of other
stars
things,
and there's so many things.
Well, and this
that go
is
into navigation.
This is why the story of the Peters versus Mercator projections is so interesting and so covered in racism in so many ways because people just fight for it. Because the Mercator projection.
The crazy thing is the maps that we grew up with in school. I don't know. Probably anybody who's younger than 30 at this point. I don't know if y'all had the pull down maps. You guys had the pull down maps,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
So those pull down maps, those are all Mercator projection. What we learned in school was looking at those maps, and it's just heavily distorted.
Yeah. The Mercator projection became standard in European and American schools and businesses, which unintentionally reinforced a worldview where the global north appears dominant in size. And equatorial regions like Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia all appear minimized.
Yeah.
Which is, again, very Freudian.
A little strange that those were the places that got subjugated the most.
And they were being subjugated before. So this is just it's like if you gave somebody who is already working prominently in subjugating countries a map where those countries are small and minimal, and their country was a big throbbing landmass.
Right, now you've just justified.
Yeah, they're like, oh yes,
or given them extra justification at least.
The Peters
it stands to reason.
The Peters projection is promoted as a corrective, emphasizing geographic equity and accurate representation of southern landmasses.
Sure.
But yeah, so in general, the Mercator is still used mostly how to say, in our heads, because it's the projection that's been given to us for so long. And frankly, the Peters projection looks fucking weird. All the
It does look
countries,
weird.
the countries look narrow and skinny,
And everything's kind of off a little.
everything's just
kind of tilted a little bit.
It just doesn't work as well because you've been raised with this terrible, weird, racist, like fucked up, like nautical navigation map.
Yeah.
But it's not the only maps like in that way. You also have maps like in 1963, the Robinson projection, which is a map that the tagline is "looks right." Right?
What, they had a tagline? They made a map and had it. They were like, we need to sell.
Well,
this.
the
It's like a
Mercator-
movie poster.
because the Mercator projection has been
maps
Looks right.
so because the Mercator projection has been like in power for so long,
Uh-huh.
like when they're producing these new maps in like 1963, they're like, hey, looks right. You know,
Goddamn Rand McNally's spinning in his grave.
in the mid 20th century, the National
I don't even know
Geographic
if Rand McNally is a human being. That might be two people.
Rand was a person and McNally was a person.
Is that the? Is
Yeah.
that what? Okay.
In the mid 20th
Well,
century,
they're both spinning.
the National Geographic Society faced a little dilemma. The Mercator was distorting the size, and Peters distorted shape. Peters distorted shape. Peters distorted shape. Peters distorted shape. The world needed something in between, something more visually intuitive. Danish-American cartographer Arthur H. Robinson approached this not as a mathematician.
Wait, Peters distorted the shape?
Yeah, that's why when you look at it, it looks all the countries look elongated because it does have the proper area, but not necessarily the proper shape.
Okay.
Mercator projection, all the shapes are proper, but the size isn't. So the locations that you're going to are wrong.
This is all an inherent problem with trying to
Get
make
places.
make a representation of something that is spherical,
Make a flat representation
Exactly.
of a circle.
and
yeah.
proof that the Earth is flat.
Yeah. Taking something 3-dimensional and round and trying to make
Yeah.
it 2-dimensional and flat is bad.
And dumb.
Doesn't work. Stupid thing. This shouldn't be a problem.
I grew up with globes. I always had a globe in my room.
Yes.
You want to know a funny thing about
I
my,
do actually currently have a Mercator projection map hanging in my bedroom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
when
It's
mo-
just a cool map.
for the uninitiated. My younger daughter is my stepdaughter, but I've been in her life since she was 2. Anyway, our first Christmas where we were all together after my wife and my now stepdaughter, moved in. All she asked for Christmas was a globe. Just
Can
for-
I have a
she's like,
Mercator projection map, Papa?
No, that's incorrect.
Please, I want to know of our British superiority.
I wish to subjugate and I wish to start early.
I just thought it was sweet, and she was like so stoked on getting a fucking globe.
Yeah,
for
globes
Christmas.
are cool as shit, dude. I always had a
She's
globe.
like 4.
So, American cartographer Arthur H. Robinson approached the map as a designer. So, instead of writing an equation and letting the math dictate the map, Robinson worked by eye and he sketched and adjusted and reshaped and rebalanced until the continents felt good.
What?
Neither stretched nor
Feels
swollen,
right.
neither pitched nor exaggerated. Only later did he derive the equations needed to reproduce the appearance. But the Robinson projection sacrifices both perfect shape and perfect area, but in exchange, it offers a smooth, natural-looking world. The poles curve gently, the continents flow across the page. Nothing is exact, but everything feels right.
Jesus. Okay, I'm familiar with this.
But the looks right philosophy made the Robinson projection wildly popular. For nearly 3 decades, it became the official world map of National Geographic.
Yeah, it's still fucked.
Schools adopted it, textbooks printed it. Most students from the 60s to the 90s saw that map.
Looks right, guys.
Looks right, doesn't it?
I guess when you go up into the poles and stuff like that, like everything is really squat. Like Greenland's really like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I guess
Moving on. The Winkle triple projection, used between 1921 and 1998, was for like a more balanced look. As world geography education modernized, the desire for mathematical balance grew stronger. In 1921, German cartographer Oswald Winkle proposed a projection.
Stupid name.
Winkle. Oswinkle.
stupid idiot.
Proposed a projection that literally takes a triple compromise. It minimizes 3 things: area distortion, shape distortion, and distance distortion. And when the National Geographic Society reviewed its world map in the 1990s, it chose the Winkle triple in 98 to replace the Robinson projection.
Hooray.
This was a striking shift from a handcrafted map to a mathematically optimized one.
Fascinating.
The Winkle triple is like pleasant and rounded and almost spherical. Greenland's realistic. The continents spread naturally. The poles remain curved, not stretched across the top like a banner. And many modern atlases and textbooks use the Winkle triple.
The Winkle triple.
Winkle triple. All right, we got 2 more.
I guess what what I'm seeing, not just with the Robinson, but also the Winkle triple, is that
How much for a Winkle triple? You gotta ask. You can't afford it.
you don't want to get to the red light
More than our
district for that.
Patreon.
Yeah, definitely more than our Patreon. Unlike the Mercator, so with both of those, the map does round out. It doesn't go out to the corners. It's not a rectangular map.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unlike Mercator, I'm not sure about Peter's, but unlike Mercator, which goes out to the corners, which stretches everything even further from the center point.
Uh-huh.
So at least with those two, it's a round map.
Right.
Or it's an oval, an ovular. Is that a word?
An ovulating map.
It's an ovulating map.
All right, in 1805, you got the mole weed projection.
Jesus, what?
Very different philosophy, one that values true area above all else. So mathematician Carl Moleweed in 1805 developed a projection that looks like a global egg or an oval stretched wide around the equator, which we've all seen. We've all seen all of these. They've all been around. Every region appears in accurate proportion to every other region. So, the big ones are big and the small ones are small.
Okay.
Because of this, the moleweed projection became a favorite in academia, especially for showing climate zones, population density, or any data where relative area truly matters. It has a pleasing, soft geometry.
It's a little more
Yeah.
oval shaped.
You're looking all these up as I talk
I am.
about them.
I am. It's a little more smushed down in the north and south poles.
Yeah. Which is, usually fine when you're working on projections of area, population, stuff like that, because there
Right.
isn't that much population density going on in the far north or south.
Correct.
So if you're giving more space around the equator, then usually better for statistics.
I do wish that we were still doing the thing where we were injecting images into like the YouTube versions of these, because I could throw them all up.
You could do that.
I don't have time.
I wish I was still doing the thing that I said I don't have time for.
Look it up, jerks. By the 20th century, cartographers realized that the main source of distortion came from trying to wrap the entire globe in one continuous sheet. So they were like, hey, why don't we do something else?
Let's make it a puzzle.
The Good Homolocene Project.
What?
The Good, G-O-O-D-E,
I've got it.
Homolocene.
It's here. Oh, I
Oh,
have
yeah,
seen
that
that
one.
Yeah, that's the orange peel one that I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
That's the one where it's like you peeled the globe, so you've got those little divots where the separation in the peel would be.
right.
I feel like
Right.
when I was a kid, that's the one that I would look at and I'd be like, well, where's the rest of the world?
Yeah, right? Yeah. But that's actually probably the more accurate, but it still distorts travel. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Yeah. It's still, you're not going to be able to travel very well with that because it would send you in completely different fucking directions.
Send you into the fucking void.
Yeah.
Like,
Zigzag. I've got to zigzag up the globe.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's see, we've got another one, the azimuthal. Azimuthal.
that sounds like some biblical bullshit.
The Azrael. The
Azimuthal.
azimuthal
is
projection.
how I would say it.
So not all map projections try to show the whole world at once. Azimuthal projections take a different approach. They imagine the Earth as viewed from a single point off in the North Pole. Azimuthal equidistant projections, for example, show distance from the center point accurately. From the North Pole, this makes continual shapes radiate outward like petals. Air navigation charts often use this projection to show straight line flights across the globe.
This is where flat earthers got their fucking... It is.
It is. That's the one, because it's like, boom, from the North Pole.
Yeah.
To go, that's where everything is.
And then by the time you get to Antarctica, it's the
Flat Earthers
it's
got
the outer diameter.
they got all their bullshit from 4chan.
Yeah.
yeah, what a bunch of stupid dicks.
From what I understand, it was a joke that on 4chan that spread to dumb people.
For sure. What's funny about that, the flat Earth projection that starts, with the North Pole and sort of spreads out from there, so that the outer diameter of the map is all Antarctica. That, like I said, that's where they got the whole fucking it's an ice wall on the outside. It's so easy to disprove it just by flight times. If the center of the map was the North Pole and everything spread out in opposite directions from there, how in the fuck can you fly from, I don't have any specific examples, but like to fly from like Texas to Hawaii would take you like 2 days.
Yeah, well, you don't understand. It's a global conspiracy where
they put you to sleep.
they put you to sleep
on the plane.
You didn't ever see that episode of the X-Files?
You never saw Inception?
Stop.
So in general, you got to use all of these to really get an accurate representation.
Those
It's more
two
of like
comments pissed me off.
it's more of
so
like
much.
Why?
I don't know. That's just something about you've never seen that. What did you say? You've never seen that episode of the X-Files, and you said you've never seen Inception. Those two hitting me simultaneously.
He's never seen either of them.
Also, yes. No, I have seen Inception actually.
You ever seen the X-Files?
Some of it, not really.
God, that was like so formative in my youth.
Got my big old
No,
X-Files
just something about those two hitting me simultaneously. Like I immediately, like inside my chest, raged. I immediately was like, motherfuckers.
So anyway, to get an accurate representation of the world, you need to use all of these. Now we're going to drop the pretense here because I don't have any more map information, and this is boring or in piss. We're going to move on to our secret episode that Pat doesn't know about. Ooh, Drew, hit it!
Surprise! This was all the intro.
What?
Here, moving on to our next episode.
What are we? Huh?
Hey, everybody, welcome to Delete Everything Podcast, our hilarious animated adventure that explores the deeper, darker, whatever dick piss. Okay, so we're doing a different episode now. Moving on to a secret topic that I started working on yesterday because I found out some very interesting information.
Well, I've been fucking hoodwinked.
Welcome to the history of cartoons.
You told me earlier, sorry.
The history of cartoons?
Welcome to the history of cartoons, Patrick.
I didn't know.
We're going to play a theme song
Hang
right
on,
now.
I gotta pee.
I didn't know what the topic would be.
Yeah, it's the history of cartoons.
Sorry, it's way better than stupid maps.
Fucking dumb maps. That was good.
Fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Maps. Fucking cares. My thoughts exactly. And like, because you're like listening to it too, and you're like, yeah, this is boring as shit. Statistics and map bullshit. Oh, that's fun.
You know, the core of it is interesting to me. I mean, just even the notion that North is North is fundamentally like, you know, why isn't...
Yeah, it's flawed. It's a flawed
Yeah.
concept, yeah.
It's only that way because it's always been that way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's no like inherent reason for it. Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of research on this this past week, and I was like, well, we can stretch this. We could do it for 2 hours. We can. And then, oh, sorry, we're still recording. So I was doing research for the Mercators versus Peters episode, which has been on the board for a long time, because it is.
For a really long time.
It is a really
Yeah.
interesting topic for fucking dork nerds.
And I've been bamboozled.
yes, you have. So I did. I
And
was
I'm
doing.
still angry about it.
Yeah, be angry. It's fine. You're gonna love where this goes, actually, because
Okay.
yesterday I was at our friend Brian Velez's house,
Okay.
and I bumped into something accidentally, just like in he. I'll explain it when we get to that point in the narrative. But
okay.
I came across a truth in the history of America that fucking blew my mind. Yeah, maybe you won't be as impressed, but I certainly was. And I realized, like, wow, this is a way better topic than stupid, dumb bitch maps.
And so you decided to just hornswoggle me.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it'd be fun to just we got all the information you needed in that. That's all we needed for those maps.
Fair.
So moving on.
I saw that, Pat.
Yeah, you saw.
What were you
Don't
looking
worry
at?
about
What do
it.
you look? How
Nothing.
to punch Riley in the balls?
No,
Is that
I'm the secret keeper now.
So I used the words hoodwinked and then bamboozled, and I was like, I need to keep this bit going, and so I looked up synonyms, so I got hornswoggled out of that.
That's pretty good. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the history of cartoons, specifically American and Japanese animations. Well, a good majority of the world has caught up with animation history since the initial, push in the 1940s and 50s. It's still pretty fair to say that the leaders in animation are North American and Japanese.
Okay.
With a lot of different discrepancies. There's China. China has a huge animation culture. Korea,
I was gonna
most
say,
of
yeah.
Asia actually has a lot of different cartoon stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the studio heads in general tend to be in America and Japan.
And all of like Chinese and Korean animation styles, all inspired by
Exactly.
Japanese.
It's kind of like, if you think of it, it's like the industrialization of animation
Mhm.
really crept into Asian countries,
Right.
where it's like, actually starting in Japan, we'll go over that pretty well, but like the idea that it's an industry that can make a lot of money by having a lot of people do it very well is adopted by China, like everything else they do is,
Mhm.
Same as making cars and clothes and
Right.
fucking anything else. They're
Right.
like, we can make cartoons real fast, real cheap.
Yeah.
Which is like a revelation, because the United States specifically never did that. They were all like, we're going to pay well, we're going to have a lot of fucking money in this project, and it's going to be big, baby, which probably worked for a while. Okay, so we're going to start in 1824 with the roots of cartoons, okay?
Okay.
So in 1824, there was something called a thaumatrope. You know a thaumatrope? Also known as a zoetrope.
Nope.
They're spinning toys that created the illusion of motion.
Ah.
So
okay.
you know that rounded guy?
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at the horse going through.
What movie was that where they had the bird on the one side and the cage on the other side?
That
and they were
would
doing
be The Prestige.
Yes.
No, that wasn't the Prestige.
Yeah, it's The Prestige.
I've never seen the fucking Prestige.
Never seen The Prestige? Why are you referencing that moment in The Prestige then?
Probably saw it on a YouTube short or something.
I don't watch YouTube, brother.
An Instagram short, whatever they call that.
Go ahead. It's
But yeah, so that's
a
the
reel, I think. A reel, an Instagram reel.
yeah, but that's I'm pretty sure that's Prestige, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, so the thaumatropes and the zoetropes were little party tricks, essentially. Pretty easy ways to make a couple of bucks at a sideshow or something. But also things called penny arcades. Familiar with a penny arcade?
Yes.
It's like a little viewer box that you can throw a penny into, back in the day, and then turn a crank, and a series of flipbook pictures would appear before your eyes.
Sleepy Hollow.
Is that Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah.
That's a different one.
Huh.
So these flipbook animations would flip in front of your eyes, and you'd see, somebody juggling or dribbling a basketball.
That's how my grandfather. I remember asking him how cartoons worked, and he got a sticky note pad or something. and
Yeah,
put
I mean,
something on there
I think
to show
everybody
them.
that knows me knows that my dad was an animator, so I grew up just like steeped in all this stuff. And there was a million little flip books and shit in my house.
Yeah.
There'd be like a cool cartoon, like Nightmare Before Christmas came out,
Ooh,
right? And I had a flip book of Nightmare Before Christmas animations.
Like,
Nice.
So it was very cool because you could see each individual little frame.
You know what I love referencing?
Huh.
The Animorphs, and on
I
the bottom
fucking love the Animorphs.
and the bottom right of
They
every
always-
book, they always had the flip book.
That's
the kid
fucking
turning
forgot that cool little detail. That's great though.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
When I was a kid, so I grew up outside of Detroit, right? And there's a town in Michigan called Frankenmuth. Frankenmuth is like a working Bavarian village in central Michigan. It was a very weird place, but also really cool. And they don't have it anymore, but when I was a kid, they had an old-timey, like, turn-of-the-century arcade there. And you could fucking get your fortune told or whatever, or spin this thing or play whatever toy. But they had in there, this is one of my coolest childhood memories, because if you reference my childhood, it can make it feel like it was in, like, 1890 with this. They had a penny arcade. You could put a penny in, and you could watch a flipbook scroll image of a guy named Elmo something, who played Tarzan in like one of the first silent depictions of Tarzan,
Interesting.
who killed a lion with a knife because the lion had escaped.
Like in real life?
And like actually fought and killed this lion. So they had this penny arcade that you could flip and watch this guy stab a lion to death.
Damn.
Which is like one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life, because
That's pretty fucking wild.
yeah, pretty wild, right? But like I didn't realize that it was real until like many years later, and I found out that information online. Pretty cool. Anyway, so in 1877, there's a man named Emile Reynaud who creates something called Pantomimes Luminosus. It's projecting hand-painted moving images, essentially the first animated film on glass. And you can look those up. They're like the first cartoons, essentially. Okay. And it's just like a glass painted with a background, and then another character painted in the foreground on another piece of glass, like being slid across.
Oh, gotcha.
Very, very basic. Very basic.
Mm-hmm.
So those are like the initial pre-actual animation versions of animated movement things. But then in 1906, somebody named J. Stuart Blackton did a little animation called Humorous Phases of Funny Faces, which is the first widely recognized animated film using stop-motion chalkboard drawing. So it was the first way that you ever saw animation done in the same style that you would have been able to see it done with claymation.
Okay.
Right? So literally draw a little mark on a chalkboard, take a picture.
Right.
Continue that mark, take a
Right.
picture.
Right,
Continue that, take a picture. Very rudimentary, but also pretty cool. And you can look it up on YouTube.
What was
All
it
of
called?
these are available. It's called Humorous Phases of Funny Faces by
Okay.
J. Stuart Blackton. And it's pretty cool. Rudimentary again, but like in the same way that when we talked about like the birth of cinema and like horror films and stuff, like if you watch like The Great Train Robbery, very rudimentary stuff. It's like, it's a train, it's a man with a gun. It's a train, it's a man with a gun. But it would still like shock people to the point of fainting.
Right.
And so seeing this little animation was like this whole big fucking thing. And then in 1914, the biggest evolution in animation happened, and it like changed the world forever. There's a guy named Winsor McKay. He created a little cartoon called Gertie the Dinosaur. And that introduced personality animation and fluid motion. It showed that animation could be more than simple tricks. The way they did it was Winsor McKay was a cartoonist that did a long series of like Sunday newspaper cartoons called Little Nemo and Slumberland.
Okay.
You ever familiar with Little Nemo? Very cartoony, very well designed, really heavily artistic. And he got into the concept of animating something. So what he did is he shot these little short films of him interacting with like an empty space. And then on that... Yeah, so then he would do these little flip motion animations, except instead of flipping through it, he would just apply each picture that he drew for the flip motion onto the cell that he just filmed himself on.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's interacting with this big friendly dinosaur. And it's, again, very simple line drawing, but it's very fluid and it's very cool. I actually have a bust of Gertie the dinosaur on my bookshelf at home.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a weird little corner of history that I like.
I thought that was a butt plug.
No. It's dinosaur shaped, so it's weird that you think that.
It can be two things, guys.
So, but at this stage, animation was like this global experiment, but Japan had not yet entered the field in a formal way, because Japan at the time was getting a little more advanced, a little more westernized, and their art was starting to adapt a little bit to Western art. So in the 1910s and 1930s is when that really started to pop off. In 1917, there's a guy named Oten Shimakawa, and he made the first known Japanese, or what you'd call an anime.
Okay.
Right? Or Japanese animation in general. And those early animations were really small scale. They're often for like education or propaganda. In fact, his first animation was literally just a boy writing like kanji figures on a chalkboard.
Okay.
Yeah, just for kids to see, to be like, this is how you do it. The big difference between what you'd see in American animation and Japanese animation is that it's obviously anime from the fucking from Jump Street.
Really?
It's bizarre. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. The fluidity of the motion is so precise. It's like the frame rate has to be like way higher. Like, instead of using like 18 frames a second that American animation would use, they're using 25. You know, it's more painstaking. It's just a little more laborious in that Japanese style of like, we're crafting an art here.
They do things right.
It's fucking nuts. It's the first Japanese animation, and you're just immediately like, oh, anime.
Oh, you guys are dedicated to your
like,
craft.
oh, shit. American animation was building on newspaper comics and vaudeville humor, and that's where you get Fleischer Studios. Are you familiar with Fleischer Studios?
I am.
Betty Boop, Popeye the Sailor, all these really cool big...
The original black and white stuff.
Exactly, black and white cartoons, hilarious, cartoony, very broad, you know, like very bendy characters, a lot of big gags.
They had the clown that would like
Coco
walk
the Clown
and dance around, and
Coco the Clown is fantastic. Had a little dog named Bosco. I've seen essentially every Fleischer cartoon. They even did a Superman that is possibly the best Superman.
And you want to know something interesting?
Oh.
I just saw a video the other day. It's funny that you picked this because it was literally like a day or two ago, about the white gloves. Fleischer cartoons, they all had the white gloves. And that's kind of stuck around, like all through all the Disney, like Mickey Mouse wears the white gloves. All these, I mean, to this day, what's that game that's like, I'm going to word this in a way that's going to make me sound super old, but like all the kids, it's like cup versus
Cuphead.
something, Cuphead.
Yeah.
Cuphead.
Yeah, that's all done in the
They have
Fleischer Studio style.
Yeah, they have the white gloves. Those white gloves are holdovers from blackface minstrel shows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very much so. In fact, a lot of the Fleischer Studio stuff relies pretty heavily on racism, which is unfortunate.
It was like they did like the Bosco you just said was the dog. They had another character that was very obviously like a racial
I'm trying
caricature.
to remember, but yeah. And Betty Boop as well was supposed to be a black character.
Really?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
What's the old racist crow from?
The old racist crow, that's from Dumbo.
Yeah.
That's from Dumbo.
Well, I seen a
Disney.
horse fly.
That's Disney.
Yeah, that's a black crow. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fleischer Studios was really, really cool, but then it also did rely on those old vaudeville caricatures and a lot of racist gimmicks. Although you could consider a lot of what they did to be anti-racist, there's still like these caricatures of like, you know, like Africans in the jungle with grass skirts, you know, big lips and big fucking throwed out hair and stuff. It's pretty, no pun intended, it's pretty dark stuff. It's like really like pretty fucking lame when it comes to it. But the level of humor and craft that they were using is also really impressive. One thing I really liked with the Popeye the Sailors is always been that they had backgrounds that much like the zoetrope thing that we were talking about earlier with the glass panel,
yeah.
they would have actual models
Right.
in the background,
Yeah.
and then they would have these clear plasticine cells that the cartoons are drawn on, and they would just drag them past the model in the background, so they had these like 3D backgrounds. Very fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then when Fleischer Studios, there's two brothers, Max and Dave Fleischer, who are super famous in the
Right.
cartoon world. They did a Superman that is so fucking cool. It's crazy. You could watch it today and be like, I cannot believe they made this in 1925. You know, Superman can't fly. He just jumps really hard. He's always stopping trains and shit, fucking blasting stuff with lasers. He fights for the U.S. in World War II. And they're all these like rad little sci-fi shorts.
Wait, World War One.
Yes.
1925. Okay, I was gonna say.
It moved on. Like they had it for a long time.
Oh, okay,
it ran
okay,
for
I got you.
multiple years.
I got you.
But like, I mean, so did the Fleischer Studios stuff. The Popeye fought. You know, Popeye had a short called "You're a Sap, Mr. Jap," in which he takes out the
Wowzers.
Japanese Navy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't quite on the level of cooperation that we ended up getting to. So in 1928, Disney came out with Steamboat Willie, which was a breakthrough because it had synchronized sound. Usually everything else would have to be overdubbed. This time they shot it and had it like right on the note for everything. You like when Popeye fought somebody, be like, hey, listen over here, I'm gonna beat you up there, pal. I'm gonna hit you with a brick and I'll punch you in the mouth. You know, but it's not synced to any lips.
Right,
He's just
right.
But then Steamboat Willie, when he whistles, has that like it's right in tune with the way that the lips move, which is a big animation.
Yeah.
1930s.
Free use now too. Copyrights out.
Yeah, you do whatever you want to Steamboat Willie.
Yikes.
You got any ideas, fellas?
All right, 1930s, Silly Symphonies was like, you've seen probably Silly Symphonies maybe back in the day on the Disney Channel. It'd be like trees singing and dancing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, or even like on Halloween when you'd see the like Dance Macabre thing of the skeletons doing that skeleton dance, that would be a Silly Symphony. So that was a big advance in like color and synchronization, character animation. All of this stuff's really like moving forward, right? Then at the same time in Japan, like going through the war and stuff, Japan lacked Hollywood-style industrial capital, so the work was all artisanal.
Okay.
Right? It's all lower budget, way slower, but it was heavily influenced by manga.
Sure.
Because, we had comic books and stuff in the US,
Sure.
but we didn't have long form comics. It's not like you'd get like a detective comic and it'd be like, here's 100 pages of a story for Batman.
Right.
It'd be like, hey, today Batman's beating up this guy. Next week, beating up this guy. Next week, beating up this guy. Whereas manga would be like, here's 75 pages in a cartoony format.
Yeah.
And when you get the next volume, that story will continue because it's
Right.
like a massive anthology.
Sure.
Is that right?
No.
Anthology. What's that shit over there that your comic book is? The
Compendium.
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 There you go.
There it is.
Drew's got a Walking Dead compendium over there.
My brother-in-law lent it to me.
Yeah, that's good. I have the same one.
I
So-
heard it's really dark.
It is so dark. So
I mean,
dark.
the show's pretty dark too.
I think it gets particularly dark at the point that Rick turns around, there's a big splash page, and he goes, "We're the Walking Dead," which happens. It's a big moment. So in Japan, the aesthetic emphasis on exaggerated expressions got real big, but it was still like realistic. Whereas, you go back to Fleischer Studios in the US and it's just, whoa, their arms start waving like
Right,
noodles and shit. In Japan,
Well, just look at Popeye's face.
exactly.
Yeah, nobody looks like that.
Yeah, and
Except Bruce Willis.
but then in Japan, they would like have the same sort of like sort of thing, except to be a very stylized human face. Like they would have a real expression because they're
Right.
working off of this like heavily artisanal, like stylized
Right.
artwork. Not to say that it's better. In many ways, it's more rudimentary because it didn't have like the flash and the style of American animation, but it's just more tight. It's
Sure.
much-
Precise.
Not quite as fun yet. Later, it gets fun.
Yeah.
In the 1930s, America moved into like the golden age of animation. There's a point that I'm going to get to with all this, and we're getting real close. Okay.
All right.
So in 1937, Disney released Snow White, which is the first full-length cell animated feature, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks cool.
It is individual, everything hand painted. Disney pumped a fuckload into the budget, and they had like 90 animators or something at one point
Jesus.
working on it. It was like it was a world changer, really, like the most innovative
Yeah.
big art piece. He was looking at it like the same way that he made Fantasia later. It's like a symphony on screen.
Right.
Like he wanted as big as he could be, as broad as possible. Right.
Sure.
And he really fucking nailed it. Snow White is a masterpiece.
Right.
A little boring now, but like at the time, it's just the visual feast of it is fucking psychotic. You know, at the same time, Warner Brothers is doing kind of the Fleischer thing with Looney Tunes and Daffy Duck, but they make it more of like a pop culture thing and start working animation into the mainstream, making fun of like actors and directors and socialites and stuff.
Okay.
So you get all like the Bugs Bunny doing Edward G. Robinson
Right,
shticks
yeah.
or shit like that. Or just really, Bugs Bunny's based off of Clark Gable in a movie called It Happened One Night.
Really?
Yeah. There's a movie called It Happened One Night where Clark Gable is like a basic, fucking meet cute, like this dame hates this man, but by the end they're going to be in love.
I got you.
And there's a scene where he's like eating a carrot on the side of the road. And he's like, yeah, what's your problem? And they put Bugs Bunny kind of in that world, just like, and made him Clark Gable. So his whole shtick, probably the rest of time, is like this, yeah, hey, what do you see?
Yeah.
So that's where he goes, yeah, what's up, Doc? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always fucking loved that it's a joke from a movie that no one's ever heard of.
That's funny.
So the same way that later when Bugs Bunny calls Elmer Fudd Nimrod,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
went over that.
we talked about that on the podcast.
It's a reference to like the great hunter of biblical times, but
Right.
as a joke because he's a fat idiot.
And then somehow Nimrod turned into
You're a fat idiot.
from that
Yeah.
turned into fat idiot.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Hunter, not Hunter guy.
And then things got really interesting with Technicolor. The same time that movies started using their Technicolor palette to have color films, that's the same time that cartoons could start doing that, which is cool because at the time it wasn't so much that they couldn't draw in color. Like really, it was Snow White that pushed this to the highest extremes. It was that they didn't have projectors and film and things like that would carry the
That
color.
would carry the true color. Yeah.
So by the time, like, imagine having never seen a movie in color ever in your life.
well, that's like wasn't Wizard of Oz one of the first
Exactly.
Technicolor movies,
Yeah.
and it even starts in black and white, and then
Well, that's like the
Yeah,
it's the big
same-
reveal.
Same
Yeah,
exact
yeah.
deal. Yeah, exactly. It's like that's the whole deal. The
and
Snow
I can't
White was the same
imagine
thing.
what it must have been like for people to be like in a movie theater and see that. For
What's
the first time.
really fucking cool is that if you ever went to like Wizard of Oz, not opening night per se, but like if you hadn't heard word of mouth about it and went and
Yeah.
sat and that happened, it would blow your fucking
yeah,
mind.
probably.
Snow White was kind of the same deal because it was advertised as a cartoon, but everyone had seen cartoons in the theaters. They
Yeah.
played them between movies and shit. And you sit down and then like, bing,
Yeah,
all in
it's
color,
all
the
in
whole
color,
thing.
yeah.
It would fucking people would like pass out.
That's
like,
crazy.
oh my god.
Colors, shut up.
Yeah. So
God.
by the time
None of us will ever feel that way about anything.
Probably not.
I mean, speak for yourself, buddy. I saw Avatar in 3D when it first
Fuck
came
you!
out.
God damn it!
Oh my god. Fucking Avatar. Kill yourself.
You fucking got me.
Yeah, so American animation was just big budgets and lush motion, big theatrical releases, But it was the problem with it was that it was like this event. It was this big look at how impressive, how amazing, but never like this is now a part of your life. It was just like look at this gimmick, which has always been kind of the American way with everything. Right? It really is just look at this great gimmick. It's gonna be there forever, and
Yeah.
it'll last like 6 months, a year, and whatever.
Our podcast is a gimmick, right?
Podcasts are a gimmick, dude. By the time fucking give it like 5 years, nobody's gonna listen to this shit. That's why we got to make money while the sun shines.
That's patreon.com.
I'm just waiting to get. I just need enough listeners that I can start hawking like underwear and brain pills or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Get cursed by Blongo.
Yeah,
up and
Emergency-
pillows or whatever.
yeah, emergency
full body
fallout,
pillows, right?
Stamps.com.
Fallout rations.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it takes.
Boner
Whatever
pills.
it takes. I need to make my nut.
We are so far away from making our nut.
So World War II was a huge disruption for Japanese animation, quite
Mhm.
obviously, because they turned everything into industrialization. They didn't have the mind to do propaganda cartoons. Japan was like, oh, let's stop with the cartoons. We got other shit going on. And like everyone's like, okay, pivot right now to War Machine. In the US, it's like, hey, what are you, an animator? Make a cartoon about how the Japanese are bad.
Oh my god.
Draw
And
cartoons.
they sure did.
Yeah, draw cartoons about how Hitler is a doofus, But then post-war rebuilding, there's this like massive manga boom in Japan because, I mean, really, they don't have much infrastructure right now. Things are pretty fucked up. But one thing they can do is print stories and books. Out of that comes a guy named Osamu Tezuka. And Osamu Tezuka, it was known as like the god of manga.
Interesting.
He is possibly one of my all-time favorite artists in general. And you've seen Osamu Tezuka's work a million times.
Tell me what I've seen.
You ever heard of Astro Boy?
Yes.
About Kimba the White Lion.
Uh-huh.
Kimba the White Lion. Gigantor the robot.
I don't know about that one. Maybe, probably.
We can go down a whole list of shit because he was like the style. Pretty much anything you've seen produced as an anime from 1970 to 1990 is going to have Osamu Tezuka's hand in it.
Okay.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah, just like think of any fucking cheap anime from when you were a kid that was like, oh, Speed Racer, right? Speed Racer.
Okay.
That's all
right.
him, yeah.
There we go.
So anything's like, just
You're
like,
right.
but that is like, he became the epitome of the industrialized Japanese animation machine that was like, okay, keep the art, keep it tight, but like cut a few frames out, make it faster. We need this more,
Right.
so
that's why it's so choppy.
it's much choppier because
Yeah.
he's like, we can do this faster because we're poor. The country's fucked. We need to like start cranking out some entertainment and get this going for cheap.
All right.
And that's where you get the entire run of that style of anime for like forever.
Huh.
Yeah, all the way up to essentially till the beginnings of Studio Ghibli.
Which is just crushed it.
Oh yeah, they just fucking crushed it. They just fucking crushed it. But we're gonna talk about them a little bit more. I'm getting pretty close to my big revelation moment.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, you're gonna like this. So yeah,
I can't
Osamu
wait
Tezuka.
to see the whole reason why I've been had
I can't wait to see the
this
whole.
week.
Osamu Tezuka begins experimenting with cinematic storytelling techniques adapted for low-budget production. Tezuka's limited animation was not just economic, it became stylistic. It emphasized dramatic framing. He had big expressive eyes that were
Yeah.
influenced by the Western cartoon ideas. They were like, hey, those jokers over there are being successful for cheaper. What do we got to do?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, make it for dummies. But they really focused on the story. That's why you'll have those like, let's say an Astro Boy, right? Will have pretty minimal animation as much as they can do, but the story will be like it'll be all kinds of shit. It's like robot girlfriend died and he's wearing her legs now because he's heartbroken, but he can't feel emotions because he's a robot. Like way more intense than it needs to be.
Right.
But
I mean, that ran up into the 90s with like Dragon Ball. I remember
Exactly.
hating that fucking show because nothing ever happened. It was
that's
just-
exactly
Oh
right.
yeah, you'd have to wait like
Yeah.
a month
Think about that
for
though.
one battle to be over.
Because
Yeah.
in the 8 episodes where fucking Goku's charging up the Spirit Bomb, you got unbelievable amounts of storyline.
I
Like
think when-
he's the whole time he's just, but he's talking the whole time. He's like, and then I'll be able to go back to the planet
Is that when
Namek.
Is that when he's fighting the fucking
Frieza?
the
Frieza.
dildo looking guy? Yeah.
Oh, that's Piccolo. But who's the dildo looking guy?
No, Frieza's the dildo looking. The white and
White and
White
purple.
and pink.
yeah. Whoever was trying to show me Dragon Ball Z, for some reason, started me on that whole story arc, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's just
The
some dude
Namek
screaming.
arc.
It's some fucking dude screaming for like 40 minutes
I
straight.
remember being like
It's been 3 episodes.
yeah, I was probably in high school or something, and it would come on in like Toonami at night, and I'd be like, all right, tonight's the night. Like something's got to happen in this. But that same arc, that same like Goku versus Frieza, I'm like, tonight's the night. It's like some shit's gonna pop off, and I'd watch fucking 30 minutes, and I'd be like, God damn it! Okay, tomorrow some shit's gonna pop off. I swear to God.
Dragon Ball Z did that stuff so well though, because if they wanted to save money on animation, you would be able to see Goku land 1,000 kicks, but you'd really only see 3 kicks,
Right.
Because they just had just this sound effect of like, but it really just show one kick repeating.
Yeah.
But they just move the slide back and forth. It was fucking brilliant, but it looks fucking rad.
Right.
So yeah, his story first focus became kind of the thing with anime.
The funny thing, when you were talking about that, the older Japanese animation, all I could think of was like in Speed Racer, whenever they'd like have the frame just on him, and he'd be like, "Oh," and he'd like say whatever, and like in the background, there's like all the crazy like lines going past, like
Yeah, little kids chasing a monkey back and forth.
Yeah.
Cars are zipping back and
Yeah.
forth because that shit's easy. You just
Right,
zip that
exactly.
across. And in the meantime, he's just like, and this is how I'm going to restore the honor when I find out what my brother's been doing, and I'm going to find out the identity of the man that killed my father, and I'm going to come after it. It's just like this endless stream of shit. Because there's the very important point that Japanese words are longer than American words. It is harder to get a message out in Japanese than it is in English. So their breaks for saying things are going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And like you can't cut that out because then your cartoon on the Western syndication is just going to be like 5 minutes shorter.
Right.
So you just gotta fucking.
You
And
gotta
then I'm
vamp a
gonna,
little bit.
keep
and then I'm
talking.
gonna get out of bed, and then I'm going to have breakfast, and then I'm going to wash the dishes, and then I will make more breakfast again, and I will give some to my sister. Yeah. Okay. 1950s to 1970s is where American and Japanese animation really start to like diverge because at this point they're kind of like sort of like lockstep.
Okay.
You know, they're watching each other a lot for some reason. Paying a lot of attention to what the other one's doing.
Crazy. In the 50s? No way.
Crazy. But in America, in the 1950s, you got the rise of television syndication and studios cutting budgets because they're, post-war and they're trying to make content.
Right.
And that's where Hanna-Barbera comes in.
Oh.
And Hanna-Barbera has the exact same Osamu Tezuka model of like, we're going to make as few frames as we can to make this cartoon cool. And it's
Yeah.
all the same style. They crank it out with the same artists. Like, look, like fucking the Flintstones, the Jetsons,
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. These are all the same
They use
characters.
the same frames of them walking in every single episode.
Exactly.
Oftentimes, frequently.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this time they're walking through a castle.
And a
Okay,
million-
this time they're walking through a lighthouse. Okay, this time they're walking through a cave.
And a
Okay,
million different little like offshoot cartoons, Captain Caveman
Yeah.
or El Kabong or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. What's that blue dog?
Huckleberry Hound.
Huckleberry Hound.
Yeah.
Right? Like these are all essentially the
What was
same models.
What was the cat?
the Pink Panther?
No.
I know what you're talking about.
The one who talks like this. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
I can't
Let's say
even.
it starts with a C or something.
I can't remember.
Hey, what's going on? What do you want from me?
Yeah.
But this is
I'm
where
just a cat.
this is where like for the first time cartoons become primarily children's entertainment because adults look at it and they go, "Oh, okay, that's stupid." They go back to reading a book or doing the dishes
Right.
or whatever the fuck adults do, and kids are like, "This is amazing." And Hanna-Barbera is just cranking these cartoons out, and it really informed the way that people watch cartoons in the future. It also framed it in America, very important to note, framed in America animation as children's entertainment.
Right.
Well, they still did not have that conceit in Japan.
Which is still consistent today.
Exactly. So in 1963, Astro Boy became the first major anime TV series, which I'm a big fan of. It's another Osamu Tezuka. That did limited animation and deep stories about robots, ethics, sadness, social futurism. And anime started fucking exploding on TV because it was cheap and easy to produce in a time when really if you're going to get something dramatic on TV, it'd probably be heavily produced. Like Akira Kurosawa is knocking out fucking banger samurai movies at this time.
Right.
But, coming out of that,
Mr. Jinx?
Mr. Jinx.
That is not what I remembered him being.
I think of Heathcliff.
No.
No,
Heathcliff
Heathcliff.
is different.
We're going to talk about Heathcliff in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
yes.
Heathcliff Hanna-Barbera?
No, he's not.
That was a whole different
Oh, yes.
animation. Yeah.
We're going to talk about Heathcliff in a
Heathcliff,
second.
okay.
This is the point I'm building to, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So, anime TV's got like, Mecha Go-Go or Speed Racer or fucking Lupin the Third.
What was the Hanna-Barbera shark?
Oh, it's Jabberjaw.
Jabberjaw.
Yeah.
And then what was the Dune Buggy?
The Dune Buggy was fucking, I don't know.
Speed Buggy.
Speed Buggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they did the wacky races with like all of them. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
It'd
Yeah,
be like
they have the whole thing, and you'd have
Snidely
fucking
Whiplash
Snidely
and-
Whiplash out of nowhere for some reason.
Yeah, he wasn't in
and that
anything
dog
else.
that was like. Yeah.
What was the-
Patrick used to stay up late doing all these voices.
No, I rode the bus and everybody would be like, "Okay, don't do this one." And that's all. That was my life. And somehow I've come full circle back around to it.
So at this time in the 60s, both nations are using limited animation for TV, but Japan uses the savings to invest in complex, long-form storytelling, while the U.S. keeps most TV cartoons episodic and comedic and kind of silly and overlooked.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
But Japan at the same time it's like almost.
I mean, yeah, there's no continuity to like Looney Tunes.
It
You know what I mean?
feels very much like Japan just being like, yes, you keep your silly children's programs. We shall build an empire. Like just from nothing.
I
We
mean,
shall come
they
from the
succeeded.
ashes. Oh, 100%, dude. More more than you even know.
Yeah.
Because in the Disney Renaissance,
I don't care how old you are. Watch Attack on Titan and tell me that is not
amazing.
One of the most well-written, craziest fucking shows
Never seen
ever.
it.
It's really
You
good.
should.
It's
It's
fucking disturbing.
Insanely good.
But the Disney Renaissance, have you ever heard of the Disney Renaissance?
The Hotel?
This is the 1980s chain of movies that came out, like The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast,
Okay.
Lion King.
Okay.
It's like took kind of this sort of like
The ones we grew
lackadaisical.
up on.
Yeah, it's like, you know, people were getting a little disinterested in things like The Rescuers and shit like that.
That's right. Because
right?
they were kind of, it was like the same old shit.
Yeah,
and then
again
in,
and
like, the
again,
80s
you know,
and
fucking
90s, they pumped out all these
the
new ones.
Aristocats and
Right,
shit
right,
like
right,
that.
right,
And people
right,
are just kind of like, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. You know, it's also like those cartoons in the late 70s, early 80s had that kind of like sharp bleakness that was
Yeah.
just kind of like Fox and the Hound, shit
Yeah.
like that.
101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, it was cool, but like, you know.
Right.
And then when they start coming out with stuff like vibrant stuff like The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the
Mhm,
Beast, that's when people started paying attention, really like revived the whole craze.
Sure.
Because those are also adults now who had grown up with Hanna-Barbera.
Yes.
Now they want to show their kids cool cartoons and yada yada.
Or adults that grew up watching older Disney stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now
Like
these
my mom.
and now these adults are putting their kids in front of the TV to watch things like DuckTales,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or Batman the Animated Series is
Yeah.
coming out in the 90s. You know, you got Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and all this shit, and Toy Story comes out in 95. And at the same time, Japan has this like explosion of different genres. Coming out of the 80s, you know, you got fucking mecha animes,
Mhm.
you got fantasy sci-fi dramas, Studio Ghibli's popping off.
Yeah, you got Akira.
Katsuhiro Otomo,
Yeah.
1988, Akira, one of
Yeah.
the all-time greats ever. But I want to focus now, take you back to a little series of cartoons that you are going to remember.
Okay.
Now, you've always mentioned that you are a Mask fan over G.I. Joe.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So it's fairly safe to say that you know that era of cartoons pretty well.
I do.
Things like He-Man,
GoBots.
GoBots. Right?
Yeah.
All of
Transformers
these
cartoon. G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I used to
Yeah.
watch all that shit.
Did you know that those are all animes?
That they were made in Japan?
Not completely, but that they are heavily, heavily framed with Japanese animation.
Really?
So
That makes sense.
a lot of the cartoons that you were getting,
Because even as a kid, when I was in high school, so we're talking about in the fucking mid 90s, like that's when I got turned on to Akira and Ninja Scroll and all these fucking movies that were just absolutely sick. But I mean, that was like now you can watch anime as a kid and it's like, yeah, you're cool.
right?
You know, and you'd be like, oh, I want to fucking whatever Demon Slayer something or other.
Well, you know how we always talk about dicks?
No.
That was a fucking wild left turn, but go do what you got to do.
Well, I want to talk about one big dick in particular.
GoBots dicks. Well, to finish my point, that was like I remember having to be like a closeted anime watcher, and like Brian Velez and I would like literally stay up in his back room and like get VHSs or like whatever we could get our hands on,
Right.
and like watch like Neon Genesis Evangelion and be like, this shit
My
fucking
favorite
rules.
anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, so it tracks that I grew up watching all those that other stuff that was framed in
Uh-huh.
that same way, and I mean I can't say with 100% certainty, but maybe that's what turned me on to the you know.
Okay. The dick I have in question, right? You familiar with DIC?
Yeah.
yeah,
Bring dick. Diffusion, Information, et Communications. Founded in
Stop.
France in 1971.
I always wondered why the end of those cartoons always had the little. It said DIC, and
Uh-huh.
it had the little comic go over
Right,
from
right,
one
right.
side to the
Exactly
eye,
right.
to the top of the eye,
And we all laughed every time.
and then
X.
and then the little girl's voice would go. Eek.
Still
But it's
funny.
And yeah.
Diffusion, Information, et Communication.
So many people have no idea what we're talking about right now.
DIC expanded to the United States in the early 80s and partnered with Andy Hayward and became one of the biggest producers of children's television animation in America.
Okay.
Right? French company, now crossing the pond.
Okay.
Now, this is very important because as a French company, they didn't have any particular loyalty to either side. Right?
Typical.
Exactly. Well, typical. Typical. So, like many Western animation companies, DIC used a pre-production in the West, production in Asia pipeline.
Interesting.
Right? So, writing, storyboards, character designs, and voice acting are all done in the US or France.
Right.
And then animation, in-betweening, coloring, background painting, and camera work are all done in Asia.
Wow.
I discovered this rabbit hole yesterday because I was at Brian Velez's house and we're hanging out. And I was recommending the show on Netflix that we were about the Garfield assassination,
Uh-huh.
Murdered by Lightning or Death by Lightning,
Sure.
right?
Death by crazy guy in a train station.
And he's like, yeah, Chester A. Arthur, what do I care about that? And and I was like,
That's not even who I said, you fucking twat. I said Andrew Garfield.
yeah, no, but then I was like, yeah, I mean, Garfield, not to be confused with Heathcliff, right?
Right.
And then Brian Velez, from memory, sings the theme song to the cartoon Heathcliff,
That's crazy.
which was cool. And I was like, is that what that is? And then I looked up the opening to Heathcliff for the first time in God knows how long.
I couldn't tell
Maybe
you.
I can play this. I'll just play this real quick. Let me just.
It's going to be insane to me if it unlocks in my brain and I start singing it.
It's gonna blow your fucking mind actually when you listen to it. Hold on just a second.
Heathcliff, no one should terrorize
the neighborhood. Holy shit.
All right, now as I play this, look at it and notice that it's an anime.
It really is.
It's fucking unmistakably.
That's bananas.
It's unmistakably a fucking anime.
Yeah. I mean,
And this is like deep-seated childhood American cartoon memories. This is like in Michigan, sitting in the like watching Saturday morning cartoons and being like, Heathcliff.
yeah, the animation style and everything.
It is
so
so heavily anime. And I saw it and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Dude. And then I started looking it up. This is the same company that does Inspector Gadget,
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
right?
Whoa,
Which
all
also,
right.
if you watch that fucking intro, is a fucking anime.
Yeah,
But it's all in the
100%.
weirdest way. It's in the weirdest way because the designs are American.
Yes.
The characters are all American.
You know where
designs,
I noticed
obviously.
it on the Heathcliff thing?
Motion.
The motion of the water.
Exactly.
specifically.
It's because that's the animation that they're doing because
Yeah.
they spent all their time in Japan for so many years doing this tight artisanal
And it's really
animation.
crisp, yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But like it's
Maybe
just
that's why I liked it more.
it could be.
Because
I mean,
it's
I
so
always-
much more crisp.
I always loved anime specifically for that detail. Like Akira is my favorite movie.
yeah.
Has been one of my favorite movies my entire life. It came out the year I was born, and I've watched it 1,000 times. I show it to people all the time.
Yeah. God,
And I always
watched it
just
in decades.
the level of detail, the smoothness, the level. There are like little bits of animation in it that fucking blow my mind, and I love that shit. So yeah, just to save money, DIC had an Asian Studios branch, right? And one of the ones that they worked with the strongest is called Tokyo Movie Shinsha or
Okay.
TMS Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
That
Lay it on
that
me.
is known for incredibly fluid movement.
I feel like you've still
Oh,
got a bomb to drop.
I've got Tokyo Movie Shinsha pulled up right here. Let's give you a list of what they have done for America.
I can't wait.
In the Hanna-Barbera era from the 1970s to the 80s, they did Scooby-Doo, the new Scooby-Doo movies, The New Adventures of Batman, Galaxy Goof-Ups, The Smurfs, and Richie Rich. This was still at a time when it was all pretty rudimentary.
Right.
And it was pretty cheap to just have them fill in.
Sure.
And even then in Japan, they were still doing the budget cut, like slow frame rate, so you wouldn't really notice.
Right.
Right? But they would still do that lower frame rate for cheaper. Then in the 80s and 90s, things started to get a little more expensive. So they started doing a little more work on some more prestigious things. Like for the Warner Brothers company, Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Batman the Animated Series, which
Really?
that fucked me up so hard because I've been a fan of that art director my whole life. I found out that there was a whole subsection that was doing such good work on Batman the Animated Series that they got hired away from TMS.
The art director didn't even show up to. He was just like, man, they got it, dude.
I mean, he designed everything. He's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, but these guys will fucking do
Yeah.
it. Well, there was a whole subsection of the guys working for Tokyo Movie Shinsha that got hired away just to work for Batman the Animated Series.
Really?
But they were all really eager to prove themselves, so they gave like the Batman series gave them this work to do on an episode called Heart of Ice, where it's all Mr. Freeze and it's all shadows and mist and ice and frost
I
and
think
stuff.
I know exactly which
And
episode.
it's
you're
and
talking
it's a fucking banger. It won an
Yeah,
Emmy, I
yeah.
think. And their little studio that they did breaking away from TMS went bankrupt because they couldn't stop detailing the frost. They wouldn't stop. They just obsessively, they were like, this is going to be the best cartoon. This is going to make
Wow.
our names. But they fucking bankrupted them.
about. Well, I mean, we're talking about him.
I feel
Yeah,
that.
multiple Batman the Animated Series TV episodes, DuckTales, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk,
So
Inspector
all
Gadget,
the best
Heathcliff,
Everything we
cartoons
grew up
from our-
watching.
from our
Everything we
youth.
grew
the
up watching.
real Ghostbusters. You remember
Everything
that?
we grew up watching.
Uh-huh.
All of my favorite cartoons,
Pretty
besides maybe The
fucking
Simpsons,
much, dude.
which was animated in
It
Korea.
turns out that any sort of schism we ever had between American animation and Japanese animation doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We've only been watching anime our entire
That's
lives.
crazy.
It blew my fucking mind. That's still like making me crazy because remember, my father was an animator.
Yeah.
And he couldn't find work for a number of years.
Well, I can think of one reason.
Me too. Outsourcing. Ugh.
They took her jobs.
They took her down. I mean, it's fine. Whatever. He wasn't that good.
I
I would have said it to his face.
never saw him animating Inspector Gadget.
Mhm.
Okay, but here's another couple of things that are worth noting. Okay, so TMS and the DIC Asian Animation Studios. Okay,
Okay.
they have a parent company.
Okay.
That parent company is Sega.
What?
Shut the fuck up.
Familiar with Sega?
A little
Yeah.
familiar.
Which explains the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon and a number of other Japanese
Yeah.
gaming-based cartoons. It also explains essentially the superfluous nature of it getting into the United States. Like they very literally would incorporate advertisements into their sales of productions into the United States. It'd be like, okay, if you want us to animate this for you, then you're going to add these advertisements into your product.
My mind is blown.
The reason that Sega Genesis came to the United States was because they were animating all of our cartoons,
and they were like, you gotta run Sega Genesis
they were
commercial.
laying not brainwashing, like subliminal advertising, not
In
necessarily
the cartoons?
No, I mean like they were just playing ads essentially, but
I
they
was
were
gonna say
they were
it.
laying this advertisement on all the kids.
Right.
It's like,
I had a fucking Sega.
yeah, of course, I had a Sega too. You have a Sega in your house that
I
we
did
still
not.
have to plug
I
in.
actually did not have a Sega.
Oh, it's right over here.
Yeah, we got to fix that one day.
Sega was my first fucking video game. Sonic the Hedgehog. I can run the entire first Sonic the Hedgehog. But yeah, so that's just, I mean, that's the strong revelation that I had last night. I mean, look, it's fucking Care Bears, largely animated by Japanese and Korean subcontractors.
Wild.
Fucking, it's just, it's everything. It's everything. I don't know how to feel about it.
This is what broke you.
I feel like we're gonna come in next week and Riley's gonna have like one of the fucking It's Always Sunny, like the board with all the red string.
Pepe
The
Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia, fucking yeah.
What's your favorite theme song?
My favorite theme song?
Specifically from a cartoon from our youth.
DuckTales is the one that sticks into my head the most.
That one's
But
good.
like, I actually never really liked DuckTales that much because I was a big nerd for the comics.
Mm.
I know it's just like a
Yeah.
weird take, but
It's a good one. I
but
like
it's like
Inspector
DuckTales,
Gadget a lot.
woo!
Inspector Gadget, but I feel also like, I mean, that is one that I have been able to sing for my entire life. So
Yeah.
I guess it has stuck with me. I don't know. I mean, Scooby Doo. I don't know that I have a favorite. I just have a bunch that I remember.
Okay, here. In June 1976, Tokyo Movie spun off its sales division to establish Tokyo Movie Shinsha Co. Limited, the animation division, right? The original Tokyo Movie Studios, which is just movie studios, was absorbed into it. But it changed its name to Tokyo Shinsha Animation. In the summer of 1978, it acquired the film rights to Little Nemo, Winsor McKay's Little Nemo, the
Right,
comic strip,
okay.
and it made a movie called Little Nemo in Slumberland, which is still out there somewhere. You can watch it on Tubi.
Huh.
Pretty good, and obviously an anime, but there's something very fucking familiar about it. If you watch it, you're like, why does this look? Because it's still animation based in America. It's still got the Winsor McKay feel from the 20s. But it's just something about the way everything bends, the way the characters work. You're
Tokyo
like,
Shinsha does something that I know for
all
sure.
these things I
There's-
just said. It's
well,
one of
no,
the
like
yeah.
still like contemporary.
Yeah. Well, this particular movie is very interesting for noting like a similarity to something. Because I watched it a while ago. I was like, why does this feel so familiar? Like
Uh-huh.
I gotta know this director. Okay.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Due to difficulties in raising funds and securing staff, production was slow. So they did some TV series and stuff to finance, including Lupin the Third Part 2,
Okay.
and then third Lupin the Third film called The Castle of Cagliostro.
Lupin the Third was the worst.
Lupin
though.
the
It was not
Third,
good.
The Castle of Cagliostro,
Okay.
right? Using the same director. So somebody who was directing and animate or working on and animating Little Nemo in Slumberland
Uh-huh.
also did The Castle of Cagliostro.
Can I?
You want to guess?
Can I guess?
Guess. You're looking it up right now?
No.
No, go ahead, guess.
Is it Hayao Miyazaki?
It's Hayao fucking Miyazaki.
I fucking knew it.
Hayao
I knew
Miyazaki
Studio Ghibli
was
gonna
cutting
come.
his teeth fucking doing animations for Inspector Gadget and shit like that.
Because the fish from Little Nemo looks like it's got the fucking
It's got the thing.
Ghibli
and it's
fucking
also
look.
it's just got this smoothness. The Little Nemo himself has his face is just got that
Yeah.
fucking that Miyazaki thing to it.
Yeah,
It's like a proto Miyazaki.
I love it.
And yeah, it's like that was the one that he worked on where he got the most control that got him Castle of Cagliostro, which is his first real directorial debut,
Interesting.
and helped him establish Studio Ghibli.
How do we always end up on some Japanese shit on this show?
I mean, we're white guys that like Japanese shit.
That's true.
But that
And
wasn't-
you and I are. I don't know about Drew.
The only reason he likes Japanese stuff, okay?
he likes Japanese stuff.
But the
okay.
only reason I'm on it
What's
is
the
just
stuff with tentacles in it?
Nice.
I'm a tentacle man. I like fish business. How are their balls?
Is he talking about bollocks?
Other films that TMS have worked on, the John Lasseter films, including Toy Story and stuff like that.
Okay.
Uh,
Jesus. Everything. Just say everything.
I mean, it is.
You did say
it is
everything earlier.
fucking literally everything.
That's wild.
Little Nemo, Adventures of Slumberland, works from Ray Bradbury and Jean Girard, also known as Mobius.
Morbius, like the Jared Leto thing?
No, Mobius.
Oh, sorry. It's Morbin time.
I thought it's morbid.
It's just there's.
I thought about Morbius and I wasn't gonna say anything, and then you
Sorry.
did.
It's just I don't even know how. I'm looking at pages and pages and pages of text and just trying to cherry pick, but it's like things like TMS was involved in the production of Return to Oz for Disney.
Which was a fucking super creepy movie.
Super creepy, but like they're a part of it. That's like they did the storyboards,
That's
which is
wild.
one of the reasons it looks so fucking creepy because it's anime shit. It's all fucking
Yeah.
the Wheelers with the hand.
The
It's all
Wheelers, yeah.
psychotic anime bullshit. They've had their fingers in every pie.
Oh, good for them.
Sneaky bastards.
Sneaky bastards.
And then also, of course, most importantly, Katsuhiro Otomo's 1988 Akira. Thank you guys very much for tuning in.
So you covered the kind of monopoly on the animation aspect. Do you happen to know, either of you, and you very well might, who kind of monopolized the soundtracks for all the cartoons we grew up on?
No, it's pretty interesting. Was it
Oh,
Tangerine
no.
Dream or something?
No, it was Mark Mothersbaugh.
Oh, Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo.
fame.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did
Really?
a fuck ton.
I know he did Rugrats.
He did Rugrats. He did,
which is one of the better cartoon themes of all time, I think.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah,
very,
that one's up
very
there.
simple and elegant. Really, really beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was just
That bling, bling, bling,
Yeah, it was
bling.
just like a little kid toy
all on
piano.
kids' instruments.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's very just elegant. It's a very sweet little intro. It's cool.
it fits the vibe
Yeah,
of the
that
show.
studio, Klasky Chupo, that was like one of the big.
They did like Rocco's
yeah, exactly.
Modern
Yeah,
Life
they
and,
had the Nickelodeon fucking
Yeah.
vice grip. Yeah,
Courage the Cowardly Dog, all that shit. I don't know if they did
I don't think they did
Courage.
that. That was a Cartoon Network.
They
thing.
definitely did Rocco's.
Cartoon Network went to, was it 42nd Street or Beale Street or some shit?
Gill Street,
trying to remember. Hold on.
William Street,
William Street could be William Street. That's it.
Atlanta. Yeah, Beale Street's
If Beale Street could talk.
Beale Street is Memphis.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of video games too.
Mark Mothersbaugh?
Yeah, he did like The Sims.
I thought you were gonna
Crash Bandicoot.
I thought you were gonna name a bunch of
Hell yeah.
cartoons that he did.
Lego Movie, did the music for The Life Aquatic. I don't know. He's a huge composer. Maybe less cartoons than I thought.
You sound like a huge poser.
All right, I'm tired. I think you guys have gotten enough.
They don't listen to them in the same way that we record them, right?
Yeah.
For those of you listening,
I just gave 2 episodes.
you did.
There's
2
a
half
secret
episodes.
bonus episode.
Secret
Boners episode.
Thank you.
Hey.
Today we recorded Vikings Part 2. We recorded Wacky Disasters Part 3, and then this episode all back to back to back. We started at like 6 p.m. and it is now pushing 11. So we are we're tired boys. We're also all early boys now, aren't we?
Yeah, I'll wake up early.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
Not
P.T.
me.
Barnum dirt in my eyeball.
I'm usually at least laying in bed by now.
You guys
Probably
ever
not
have that
asleep.
problem where when you fucking take some of the dirt out of your little box of grave dirt that from P.T. Barnum's grave and you like eat some just to be funny, that later you rub your eyeballs and then it's in your eyes.
Like we discussed, you are the first person to ever have that problem.
First and only.
I doubt it. Seems pretty common.
You think that, you think there's somebody else out there who's had P.T. Barnum's grave dirt in their eyes?
Oh, yeah, sure.
His wife, as she was flailing at the.
She was
at his
probably glad to be
freshly-
rid of him.
She
Let's
didn't
be
go
real.
to the fucking funeral. They're like, yeah, whatever, Pete.
His children, Pete.
Petey Barnum.
Old Petey B.
That was his name, right? Petey Barnum? Did I get the right grave?
You got to go back, man.
Damn.
Oh, Lord. It's just his fucking son that died during childbirth buried next to him.
I did not steal any dirt from Tom Thumb's grave because I respect him.
Tom Thumb.
Tom Thumb, the little person,
the
performer,
little guy.
right across, like literally across the walkway from P.T. Barnum's grave.
Why didn't you take his stuff?
'Cause I don't know.
Because you only had one coffee cup?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
You can't mix them, you know.
It's just like a big pocket full of fucking. You can't mix them. That would just be
Yeah.
uncool. I
I
don't think the
wouldn't do
magic
that.
will work.
I wouldn't do that. Well, if you like this episode and you want to tell us, the best way you can do that is to get on what you're listening to, whatever platform you're on, and give us 5 stars. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. We like those a bunch. And if you are on Spotify, leave us a comment on this episode. If you want to see any visuals for this or any of the other episodes,
Take some drugs and listen.
do a bunch of mushrooms. No, Delete Everything Podcast on Instagram. Make sure you give us a follow while you're there. Shorts, YouTube Shorts. We've got them. Not for purchase. Like you go on YouTube and then you click on Shorts and then you see us and you watch short videos of us. Those are all Patreons, right, Drew? Our shorts?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the only thing I really film.
Yeah.
We got this fucking jank ass camera that shuts off after 30 minutes. So
It's a good camera. We just got to figure it out.
I think it needs
it's
a new,
right there. It's been there the whole time, buddy.
It needs a new SD card. I just need to order
Yeah,
one.
but you have to figure it out. I don't want to do
I
it.
need to order an SD card. It's fine. I'll do
That's
it.
my D
I'll
card.
do it one of these days. And so, yeah, you can go on YouTube and watch any of our shorts there. Watch all of them. They're short. You can watch them all real fast.
Salute him.
And then finally, our Patreon, patreon.com/Delete Everything Podcast. We are at 60 episodes, man.
Hey.
And
Was that 60 just then?
Will be by the time this comes
when
out.
this comes out, we'll have 60. We're at 58 right now.
Hey.
Yeah, dude. So we talked about it at the top of the show, and it's $8, y'all. It is $8 fucking dollars. It's nothing. That's nothing in this economy. So, come listen to us some more.
You can't even buy a coffee to dump out to scoop P.T. Barnum grave dirt into.
Barely.
Which I didn't do, by the way.
He drank the coffee.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Does that smell like coffee?
No. Smells like dirt.
What's it taste like?
Dirt. Feels like maybe there's pesticides in there.
Nice.
My eye burns a lot right now.
Also, if you guys want to suggest any topics for us that maybe you think that we haven't thought of, I doubt it because
Oh,
we're
it
pretty
reminds me,
fucking
I
smart guys.
we do have a couple of cool suggestions.
We do?
Gotta write down now.
All right. Well, we thought of those.
Yeah.
Hit us up at deleteeverythingpodcast@gmail.com and we will respond to you. We always do. So till next week, I suppose. Bye-bye.
Adios, muchachos.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Konnichiwa.
That's hello.
Oh, domo arigato.
That's thank you very much.
Okane kudasai.
That's something else.
Just give me money, please. Sign into the Patreon. All right, bye.
Bye.
I'm just a cat. Look at up at tentacles in it. Tentacles. Tentacles. Me mama wasted all the special. Me mama And this is how I'm gonna restore the honor when I find out what my brother's been doing, and I'm gonna find out the identity of the man that killed my father, and I'm gonna come advocate.
about dick. About dick. About dick. Well, you know how we always talk about dick? About dick. About dick.
I thought that was a butt plug.